Hello Tarot friends, this is Ultraviolet Morgan, coming back to you with 31 Days of Tarot Prompts 2019, and this is day 6, the deck you finally crossed off your wish list in 2018. Now this is an interesting question for me because in 2018 I really didn't have a wish list. I had been trying to find 3 decks that I knew I had in the past, never got rid of, but couldn't find as I'd moved around a lot. Hadn't seen them in ages. It was my Black Cat Tarot, Gilded Tarot, which came in the Easy Set or whatever it's called, and the third one I can't ever think of what it's called, but it was something dreamy and moony, and I really liked it. I learned using these 3 decks mainly, and I searched and I couldn't find them. So eventually I just broke down and went on Amazon and decided, okay, I'm going to buy a new deck or a couple new decks. And what I ended up buying was the Wild Unknown, which I almost didn't buy because of its popularity, which I didn't know how popular it was. It was just like a Amazon top choice. And I wanted something a little more unique to me, but I really liked it, and I'm super glad that I got it. And all in the same order. So I ordered that, and then I ordered my Hanson Greer, of course. Hanson Greer. Oh, sure, just show some blurs. Which, at first, I thought, it's very thin, it's very small. I like bigger, thicker cards. Look, there's my stalker card right there. It is still very thin in a way that makes me unhappy. It's very cartoony and friendly, but its messages are on point. It is not cartoony in the way that it reads at all. So I just made a mess of that for no reason. And then the third deck, it was just those two tarot decks, and then I got the Divine Feminine Oracle and the Work Your Light Oracle, which I super love, and they are very loving, motherly oracles. But once again, were their messages soft and sweet for me? No, they weren't. Kind of reassuring, like this is gonna suck, but it's for your own good, kind of, but not soft and sweet. And then the third one is the Mystic Mudra Oracle, which my only complaint on that at all is the pictures are kind of small, but there's so much information, there's so much mythology, there's so many aspects to the cards and different ways you can use them. And it was a very inexpensive deck, and I felt like with all the work she put into this, I could not believe this deck was not just a really much more expensive deck. Now, these were not on my wish list, and like I said, I really didn't have a wish list yet because I hadn't really started to get to that point of having a specific wish list, and I didn't buy any new decks. Those were the only decks I bought. But I still managed to cross a deck off my wish list because, and if you've seen some of my previous ones, you might already know this, and that's right on the top, of course, because I was looking at it recently. But my Gilded Tarot, I actually found. My other older one that I cannot think of the name of ever, I found the box too, and not the cards or the book. This deck, I found the cards, and was so excited that I found my old deck. It does have some damage. It has some damage to the back of some of the cards. I worked with the black ink to kind of try to fix the borders as much as I could. And once again, this was a deck that I learned with. The book I remember really liking. Unfortunately, I did not find the book, only the cards. Of course, you can find everything online these days. And I do think I'm going to be able to get my hands on that book again. And hopefully, although probably as soon as I buy it, it'll turn up. But that's alright. And with any luck, my other decks will turn up somewhere someday. I love the Queen of Wands in this deck. I love the Queens in this deck. And since it's supposed to be about this deck, maybe I should talk about this deck a little bit. The High Priestess is fabulous. I love her. These are Rider-Waite, but they're very beautiful, and they're much easier to connect with and look at than your original Rider-Waite. I love all of the queens in this so much. I love this one. I don't know if it's supposed to be Cleopatra, but it definitely makes me think of Cleopatra. And I pretty much cannot stand the kings. They all float above the ground. Their pictures just say nothing to me. I don't know. In this deck, I just feel like the kings are so useless, and the queens are just really in their power. Here's an amazing, beautiful, gorgeous Empress. Loving her. Okay. Ace of Wands. Fantastic. So I can't say that I don't like any of the masculine energy in this deck, because I love a lot of it. I love the Hermit card. The Two of Pentacles is quite beautiful and a little bit mystical, and even has a dolphin, which just makes me happy because I like dolphins a lot. I should have moved these elsewhere. The Wheel of Fortune kind of confused me. I got some like, what is this R2-D2 looking thing? And then someone told me that it's the mechanism that rules the universe or runs the universe or whatever, runs the wheel. So that was kind of interesting. The Magician is a little... I can't think of the word I want. I had it like on the tip of my tongue. He's a little scary in a way. It's not the word I wanted. The Temperance card is fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, amazing. Love her. She reminds me of a Virgo, maybe. She's probably supposed to remind me of somebody else, but well. This card, the Five of Pentacles, actually gave me a whole new perspective on the Five of Pentacles one day when I was doing a reading. Ace has a cute little fox. The Lovers, never really... I don't think I have a whole lot of favorite lover cards, but this one's pretty cool. It's alright. The Tower. Very bold. I like this Nine of Swords because it has an owl and a moon in the window. This Sun is nice because it doesn't have any baby in it. It doesn't intuitively give me a whole lot, but I like the depiction of it, so it's definitely worth it to me. I like that. This world, I love this world because I feel like even though she's superimposed over, I feel like she's sort of dancing on the top of the world. Like she's that center in the wheel that doesn't move, even though she does move. Like she turns, but she never loses her balance. She's just full of grace, and she just keeps turning, but she never loses her balance. The Queen of Wands, stunning, stunning. This guy, he's great. He's happy. He's granting all your wishes. He's drinking to your happiness. He's fantastic. The Star card. Star card is very nice. I like that the Star card is in the water and the Temperance card is in the sky, because I don't like it when my Temperance and my Star cards are too similar. I want to be able to tell them apart, you know. Not overly crazy about the Strength card. It's beautiful, but I don't know. I don't like that she's got a chain on him. So I prefer him to be wild. Okay, Justice. That's pretty fantastic. Get your flying ones. This one really hits to the point. And another Queen. Queen of Cups. I mean, all the queens in this deck just feel so in their power. So in their elements. The Kings, look at the Kings are just, I don't know. They don't say anything to me. They're just, to me, they're like, they're detached. They're just above it. And they're not connected. And I don't know. They're just fools. The women are doing all the work and they're flying around. And the pages, like this guy reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite, okay? I'm not super fond of the pages either. Whereas almost every other card is just fantastic. The Fool. The pages, I guess the pages could represent, goes that way, dilettantes in a certain way. The Knights are great. I mean, look at that Knight. Four of Pentacles. Just because he's on that balcony, he reminds me of the Page, sort of. Ten of Cups. This one is beautiful. Here's the Page of Wands. It's interesting that there's oranges in the background, but the orange trees. I don't know, these pages just... The pages in the Knights, or the pages in the Kings, I mean, don't speak to me. I like that Death card. That's a very good Death card, in my opinion. I like this Devil card because I like that the Devil card actually can represent seduction, sort of being seduced by evil, versus a scary devil, which I have in my Hanson Roberts, which that isn't that, but I feel like the devil was right on top, but no, it's not, so never mind. So I like that take on the devil. And he's blind too, which has its own sort of connotations. I'm just flipping through these really quickly. Mainly I want to show the Knights and the Kings, the courts. but I didn't pre-sort them, so I think this knight is great. I mean, he's clearly charging into battle or getting ready to. His sword is flashing. Here's a Knight of Wands. He's impressive, intimidating figure. Two of Swords. Reminds me of Star Trek The Next Generation. Even though it's Geordi that has that, it reminds me of Deanna, I think is her name. The ship's counselor. Look at the Knight of Cups. I mean, look at him. He is definitely ready to go off on a very noble quest. Three of Wands. This is very celebratory indeed. Great depictions. I love the details. There's a little mouse. Lots of little animals in these. Our little sword thief, the Emperor. Okay. Page of Pentacles. I just don't really connect the pages to any kind of meaning. If you have any thoughts on the visual representation connecting to the meaning on the pages or the kings, let me know. Here's a little squirrel in the tree. This is a gorgeous Seven of Pentacles. I love this one. The fruit is ripe and ready for picking. Ten of Swords doesn't show the swords in yet. And there's a deer. I love the coloring and the light on that. Hierophant. The Moon, another mechanical style of one. You've got your wolves and your crab, lobster, whatever he is. Can't remember now. And your towers are towers of light. So it's really nice. It's not the best moon card in the world, but it's really nice. I really do like it. And the moon is one of my important, like, what does the moon card look like? The moon and the, that's gorgeous. The moon, the High Priestess, and the Page of Cups are ones I generally look for. Page of Swords. I just think dandy. They look like dandies. They look like fops. If you have to look up those words, they're just silly boys. This one is a very 80s look, but I do love it. I like this as it makes me think of communication. I think maybe this is supposed to be a boy, but I see it as two women, and I see it more as communication than any type of love connection. The Two of Cups can represent love, but doesn't always. So I don't really like that it a lot of times is physically represented that way. Look at this. This queen is so beautiful. I told you, I love the queens. That's got a cat. Oh, the animals in here are great. Queen of Pentacles, another beautiful. Okay, this is my Jennifer Lopez card. She's just sleek and gorgeous and stunning. Strong, independent woman. King of Wands. Another just floaty king. And King of Pentacles. So I think that was all of them. So just because we're talking about wish lists, this was the deck I unofficially crossed off my wish list because I found it. It was already mine. I'll talk a little bit about my wish list now, my top 20. I have many more. I refuse to write any down until we cross off a lot of these. The Hip Chick Tarot, which is a modern tarot. It's definitely my modern tarot slot, or one of them. I want a Marseille, like maybe the Marshmallow Marseille, because it is quite pleasant. And the Marseille Cat Tarot is really cute. I'm not crazy about cat tarots other than my black cat tarot. Maybe the Cat People, which I think is expensive now because it's very different. It's not a kitty cat tarot. It's really interesting. But the Marseille Cat Tarot is pretty cool. It sticks pretty closely to the Marseille. The cats kind of help you out a little bit, so it's kind of really cool in its way. I want the large Toth cards, definitely. The big ones, big sturdy ones. The Everyday Witch Tarot, yes, I definitely want that. The Mary L Tarot is one of my, Everyday Witch and Mary L should probably be, way up here. Mother Peace Tarot, I'd really like to get my hands on an early first or second edition Mother Peace Tarot, used original Mother Peace. But I'll probably settle for a newer one if that's what I can come up with. I probably can get a used one, but I won't necessarily know how old it is. We'll just see what happens. The Fountain Tarot I got in July. Yay. I still haven't done a walkthrough, but I will. Brian Frown's Fairy Oracle, I think, is the only Oracle deck on this list. Maybe. And I got that in July. My Visconti Sforza I got in June. It's ginormous. It's historical. It's the first deck, the first modern, as we know it, tarot deck. And I love it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Even my 4-year-old thinks it's beautiful. The Vanessa Tarot is a lighthearted, modern tarot that I've seen a lot that I really like. The Housewives Tarot, I love the sort of kitschiness to it, the jokiness, the funness of it. I feel like that actually really helps to learn. I love the zodiac sign things that are like why your sign is an asshole, or why people hate your sign, or what mental health issue is your sign. Stuff that's just really tongue-in-cheek and fun. Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, must. I want the first edition, I think. Maybe the second. Oh, and the Marielle, I want the first edition. I want the really confrontational, in-your-face Marielle, not the toned-down Marielle at all. No, thank you. The Alice Tarot. Can't remember exactly which Alice in Wonderland, but I do love Alice in Wonderland, so eventually I probably want everything ever to do with Alice in Wonderland. Wisdom of the Oracle. Oh, my second Oracle. CBR. How we think about her. Meh. But the Wisdom of the Oracles is a favorite, even the people who tend to not like her so much. I have a couple of hers that I do like. Nicoletta Ciccoli Tarot. I have the Oracle. I'm loving working with the Oracle. I do think that I should get on board with the Tarot pretty soon, or eventually. It's not a huge push. I feel like I've already got that Ciccoli, and I can work with that for a while too before I even worry about the tarot. Dreams of Gaia. I can never remember how to say that, but I think I said it right. I think that's also a modern, very real kind of based one. That's a really big, probably top 3. Top 3 would be, top 5 maybe would be Dreams of Gaia, Mary L, Toth, and Everyday Witch. Is that 4, 5? And the Hip Chick. Just been in love with that Hip Chick since the very first moment I saw it. And I think in the Hip Chick, the King and the Queen are both female or something. So I don't know. I really like that. Next World Tarot. I kind of go back and forth on Next World a little bit. I do think I want it, but it's a little farther down than most. Then again, if it becomes difficult to get by the time I get to it, it could fall off. It could fall off my list, sadly, but for now it's there. I like the Dreams of Gaia much better. The Next World, kind of go back and forth on. The 007, it's called the Tarot of the Witches, I think. It was made, I think it might have been made for 007, what's his name now? A James Bond movie, Live and Let Die? I'm not sure now. There's a tarot reader. She uses this deck, and the people on it are, it's very stylized. People say that it's very ugly. I really like it. It's like, it isn't a beautiful deck, like many are. And I don't think every deck has to be beautiful. I think I really probably just like it for the 007 factor, kind of, that it was in the movie, and I don't know. I'm wanting it for its 70s factor, for its whatever, celebrity. The Osho Zen Tarot is a biggie too. It'd probably be like maybe number 6 or 7. 007's up there really pretty high, to be honest. And the Gaian Tarot. And so I got a little confused with all my, Dreams of Gaia, Gaian, and Next Worlds. So the Gaian Tarot is another, real world deck that I really like. More so than the Next World. I think that's why, sort of, I guess, between the two of them, more Gaian. And then Wonderland in a Tin is the one that I really want. This could have been like a 10-minute video, and I just decided to keep on going. Wonderland in a Tin I want for my purse deck, because I feel like Alice in Wonderland is very non-threatening, and I'm not exactly in a tarot-friendly area. So I think with its sort of kitsch, fun factor, whatever, it would be non-threatening, not scary, I guess. I saw a review earlier of something like a gummy bear tarot or something that was similar, that the person said it was a really good sort of non-threatening deck. I don't remember exactly what it was. It wouldn't be high on my list for any other reason than that. But I love Alice, so I generally I'm not crazy about the tin ones, because I like the bigger cards. And I like to be able to see the pictures better. But I'm very familiar with Alice in Wonderland, so I feel like those would be fine in the tin and would be the perfect deck to just carry around in my purse. So that has been 31 Days of Tarot 2019, day 6. The deck I finally crossed off my wish list. The Gilded Tarot with a walkthrough, and with a very quick walkthrough, and a look at the top 20-ish decks that I'm currently lusting for the most, even though there's a whole bunch more on top of that I haven't even bothered to write down, because once I get some of those crossed off, then I'll start to think about which other ones are still pulling at me. So, this has been Ultraviolet Morgan. I don't know why, but I want to sign off with something, a card that I like a little better. Let's go with the Ten of Cups. Why not? This is Ultraviolet Morgan saying, Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. I look forward to every single comment, every single new subscription, and every like. And I even get excited about thumbs down because I'm that new. So, hey, if you hate me, go ahead and tell me. I can use the attention. Yeah. Do all those things. And until next time, this is Ultraviolet Morgan saying, blessed be.